Hello, good morning. Now, your next class from geography, first chapter, is going to be started. You have finished some topics. Today, you will learn degradation of land. What is degradation of land? Degradation of land means decrease in quality of land, becoming unfit for cultivation. Now, degradation of land is decrease in quality of land, becoming unfit for cultivation or agriculture. Degradation of land means continuous use of land for long time without proper care, without proper conservation and management is called land degradation. Again, what is land degradation? Land degradation means continuous use of land for long time without proper conservation, and without proper management is called land degradation. Now, causes. What are the causes of land degradation? Why the quality of land is declining and decreasing, becoming unfit? What are the causes? Human beings are directly causing problem. Human beings are directly responsible for land degradation with the help of deforestation, means cutting more and more trees, overgrazing by animals, grazing grassland more and more, and mining activity, digging minerals everywhere, and quarrying. Quarrying means cutting upper part of the earth, rocks, soil for brick making. Potters are using for earthen pot making, for chips making, rocks are used. That is called quarrying. So human beings are directly degrading our land, causing degradation of land with the help of deforestation, overgrazing, mining activity, and quarrying activity. Human beings are directly causing land degradation by deforestation, overgrazing, mining activity, quarrying activity, etc. Indirectly also human beings are causing degradation of land. Means human beings are increasing the pace of the speed of natural forces. Those natural forces are causing land degradation, like running water, blowing wind, moving glaciers. They are also causing land degradation. Again, now human beings are indirectly responsible for land degradation also by increasing the pace of the speed of natural forces. Now in India, about 130 million hectare land is already degraded, have become unfit for cultivation. About 13 crore hectare land of India is already degraded. Now you should know, you should understand that about 56% land is water degraded. 56% land of India is water degraded, means due to force of water, now soil is degraded. Second, 28% land is forest degraded. It means due to cutting of trees. Now your land is naked, easily now they are eroded, dismissed, top layer of soil is dismissed, becoming unfit. Now 28% land is forest degraded, 10% land is wheat degraded. In arid area, semi-arid area means deserted. You should understand. And 6% land has become alkaline and saline due to over irrigation, mainly in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, etc. Again, come to the point. Now, 13 crore hectare land of India is degraded. In this 13 crore hectare land means 130 million square kilometer land sorry 130 hectare land is already degraded. This 13 crore hectare land is degraded. In that 13 crore hectare land, 56% land is water degraded due to force of water running water. 28% land is forest degraded, means due to lack of vegetation. Land is degraded, means 28% forest degraded. 10% land is degraded by the force of wind. Wind degraded 10% in arid area, semi-arid area, means Rajasthan side. And 6% land is alkaline and saline. Again, alkaline and saline due to over irrigation in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, etc. Now, take example how land is degraded due to human interference. First of all, mining. Mining, after digging minerals, that mineral area is left as traces, unkept, unused, and that is overburdening. That is also degradation. After digging minerals, land is left as traces, and that is land degradation. Now during mining, large number of trees are cut down, and that is also land degradation due to lack of trees, lack of forest. Many Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, land is degraded due to deforestation. This deforestation is done due to mining. During mining, trees are cut down, forest is cut down, a land becomes unkept due to degradation. In Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, etc., land is degraded due to cutting of trees for developing mining activity. Again, now in some area of India, land degradation is taking place due to over grazing by animals. In Rajasthan, in Gujarat, in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, most of land is degraded due to over grazing by animals. Now, in some states, land degradation is taking place due to over grazing by animals, like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Now, in Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, land has become alkaline and saline. Why? Due to over irrigation, more and more irrigation. That is also land degradation. Now, industrial activity. When minerals are used for grinding, dust particles are coming in our air. Those dust particles again come on our land. Are stops infiltration power of our earth. That is also land degradation. Example. Now, grinding of limestone for making cement. Dust particles are coming in here. Grinding of soapstone and calcite for developing ceramic industry. Chini, mitti ka bartan. Again, dust particles are coming in our atmosphere, our air. Again, with rainwater, dust particles come on our land, and land becomes very hard. Does not allow water to go in the interior of our earth. That is land degradation. Dust particles stop infiltration power of our land. That is also land degradation. So, after mining, when minerals are processed in factory for making different things, like grinding of limestone for making cement, grinding of soapstone and calcite for making ceramic items, dust particles are coming, are mixing with our air. With rainwater, again dust particles are coming on our land surface. Land surface is becoming very hard. Stopping infiltration of water does not allow water to go in the interior of our earth. That is also land degradation. After that, now effluents coming from factory, waste material coming from factory are coming on our land. That is also land degradation. Waste material from factory, that is called effluents, factory effluents. That is also coming on our land. We find land degradation in industrial area. So these are the main causes of land degradation. Now question is, now the topic is, how do you control land degradation? What steps should be taken for controlling land degradation? Now, first of all, afforestation means planting more and more trees. After that, proper management of grazing land, pasture land, controlling overgrazing, controlling mining activity, proper management of barren and waste land, center belt of plant means planting more and more trees in a queue, in a line. That will stop, that will decrease the force of the wind. If force of wind is minimized, means land degradation can also be minimized. After that, planting thorny trees around the sand dune in desert area for stopping the movement of sand dunes in desert area. There are so many sand dunes causing land degradation. These sand dunes are always moving. So around sand dunes you should plant thorny trees. So thorny trees will help to stop the movement of sand dunes. Because sand dunes are always moving with the force of wind. With any change in wind, they are also moving and causing degradation of land. That is why planting thorny trees around the sand dunes. After that, proper discharge of proper disposal and discharge of factory waste material after proper treatment. These are the steps to control land degradation. Again, how will you control land degradation? First of all, afforestation. Planting more and more trees means afforestation. Controlling overgrazing, controlling mining activity, proper management of grazing land means pasture land, proper management of barren and waste land. Now planting trees in a line, queue. That will decrease the force of wind, because force of wind also causes land degradation. So planting trees in a line, in a queue, that will also decrease land degradation. After that, planting thorny trees around the sand dunes to stop the movement of sand dunes, because they are causing land degradation. Then after, now proper discharge of, proper disposal, proper discharge of industrial waste material, industrial effluents after proper treatment. These are the steps how to control land degradation. Now, soil. Soil is very, very important natural resource. Now, soil is a natural resource and a renewable resource. Soil supports our plant lives directly and all living beings indirectly. So soil is a living system. Soil is very very important natural resource and a renewable resource. Soil supports plant life and all living beings, living things. Soil formation takes very long time, millions of years. Soil formation takes very long time. There are some factors which help in formation of soil, in making soil. Those factors are topography or relief feature, many type of land, mountainous area, different type of formation of soil, plateau area, different types, plain area. Now soil is found that is transported soil वो mountain area से बह करके आता है और plain area में lowland में जमा होता है river के किनारे बड़ी बस. So mountainous area में soil बनते हैं, formation होता है, लेकिन वहाँ soil रुक नहीं पाता है क्योंकि high gradient, high slope होने के कारण soil रनी वाटर के साथ नीचे आ जाता है. तो सॉइल फॉर्मेशन में रिलीफ फीचर मैंने टाइप ऑफ लैंड टोपोग्राफी का बहुत बड़ा हाथ है. उसके बाद है बेड रॉक, पेरेंट रॉक. सॉइल ऊपर होता है, उसके नीचे किस रॉक से बना हुआ है. यदि ब्लैक रॉक से बना हुआ तो सॉइल अलग होगा, उसका फीचर अलग होगा. वो यदि इग्नियस रॉक का बना हुआ तो सॉइल अलग होगा. तो सॉइल फॉर्मेशन is helped by second factor. Now bed rock या parent rock. After that climatic condition, temperature, rainfall, etc. They are climatic, a part of climatic condition. They also help in formation of soil. Then after your natural vegetation, your forest also help in formation of soil, in making soil by giving humus, organic material, and other animals. And time factor, because soil formation takes very long period, so time factor also help in formation of soil. Again, how is soil formed? Soil is formed by many factors. In the formation of soil, there are so many factors which are contributing. First is relief feature, topography. Relief for topography. Second is bed rock या parent rock, which is just found below your soil. Bed rock या parent rock. After that, climatic condition. In different climate, different soils are found. After that, natural vegetation, and plants also help in formation of soil. All living things help in formation of soil and time factor, because soil takes very long duration in a formation of soil. After that, you should know that all the chemical processes, all the now organic processes which are taking place in our soil, which are happening in our soil, they also help in formation of soil. Chemical processes, organic processes taking place in between our rocks also help in formation of soil. In the formation of soil, some natural forces also help, like changing temperature, ups and down in temperature, changing temperature. Now, flowing water, running glacier in hilly area, mountainous area, and blowing wind, and decomposure. You might have read in bioscience. Decomposers, mixed bacteria, also help in formation of soil. In the formation of soil, there are some other factors also, mainly natural factors. Those factors are now changing temperature, help in formation of soil, changing temperature. After that, running water, moving glacier, blowing winds, and decomposure, any bacteria also help in formation of soil. You should understand that soil is made up of both materials, organic also, inorganic material also. Like that is what humus in organic material. Soil is made up of both material, organic also, means humus, and inorganic material also. Soil is divided into many parts according to thickness, color, age. In India also, soil is found in different types due to different topography or different climatic condition. Different type of vegetation. Soils are different types in India. In India, soils are divided into 6 main parts. First is alluvial soil, then after black or red or cotton soil. Third is a red and yellow soil. Fourth is laterite soil. Fifth is desert or arid soil. Sixth is forest or hilly soil. So in India, our soils are divided into 6 main parts. First is alluvial soil. Second is black or red or cotton soil. Third is red and yellow soil. Fourth is laterite soil. Fifth is arid or desert soil. Sixth is hilly soil or forest soil. First of all, alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is found in most part of India. It is a widely spread soil. It is found in most part of India. In all over northern India, alluvial soil is found. In all over northern India, in river valley, northern India, everywhere alluvial soils are found. In eastern coastal area, in eastern seaside coastal area, mainly on delta of rivers, alluvial soils are found. In the eastern coastal area, on the eastern seaside, on delta area of river, alluvial soils are found. Now, alluvial soils are found on limited scale. In Gujarat also, Rajasthan also. Alluvial soils are found in Gujarat and Rajasthan also, but in limited area, as a narrow corridor. Now, alluvial soils are found mainly in North India, along the river valleys, mainly 3 Himalayan rivers, Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. Now, alluvial soils are found in the entire North India, along the 3 Himalayan main rivers, Indus River, the Ganga River, the Brahmaputra River. Those rivers are coming from Himalaya and with soils. And those soils are deposited in all over northern India, along the both sides of rivers. Now, you should understand that alluvial. Now, alluvial soils have different percentage of sand, silt, and clay. Alluvial soils are made up of the different proportion of ratio of sand, silt, and clay. Alluvial soils, if you go in the upper reaches of rivers, means on mountain side, size of soils become bigger and bigger, larger and larger, portion and portion. If you go towards upper reaches of river, near the break of slope, on mountainous side, size of soil is larger, bigger size. Many sandy soils, larger soil. On mountainous, on the break of slope, on the upper reaches of river, means mountainous foot of mountain, that is called Piedmont plain, Piedmont area. Here soils, alluvial soils are found. They have different names: Chos, Dwar, Chos soil, Dwar soil, Tarai soil. If you go towards upper reaches of river, means break of slope, means foot of hill, mountain, that area is Piedmont plain area. Here different type of soils are found. Alluvial soils, Chos soil, Tarai soil, Dwar soil, etc. Now, alluvial soils. Alluvial soils are divided into two parts according to age. Alluvial soils are two types according to age. Now, alluvial soils. Alluvial, according to age, alluvial soils are divided into two main parts: bhangar या बागा soils and khadar soils. Very important topic. Alluvial soils are divided into two parts according to age factor: bhangar या बागा soil, khadar soil. Bhangar soil is older soil. Khadar soil is new soil. Bhangar soil is less fertile. Khadar soil is more fertile. Bhangar soil has coarser. Bhangar soil is coarser soil. Bhangar soil has large particles, but khadar soil has small particles, fine particles. Bhangar soils have more and more conker, means nodule of calcium carbonate. Khadar soil has very less conker. These are the differences between bhangar soil and khadar soil according to age. Now, alluvial soils are two types: bhangar soil, khadar soil. Bhangar soil is older soil. Khadar soil is newer soil. Bhangar soil very old soil. Khadar soil is new soil. Bhangar soil is less fertile. Khadar soil is more fertile. Bhangar soil has more and more conker, more and more nodules of calcium carbonate. Khadar soil has very less conker. Bhangar soil has a larger size, larger particles, coarser particles. Khadar soil has fine particles, small particles. Now, in drier part of India, now alluvial soil has become alkaline and saline. In drier part of India, alluvial soil has become drier and has become alkaline and saline. But here also agriculture is done with the help of proper treatment of proper irrigation system. Now you should know that alluvial soil is one of the most fertile soils in the world, because alluvial soil helps to grow rice, wheat, pulse crops, sugarcane and other cereals. Very important, because alluvial soils are very rich in potash, phosphoric acid and lime. Alluvial soil is very fertile soil. Alluvial soil is very rich in potash, in phosphoric acid and lime. These nutrients are found more and more in alluvial soil, so it is very rich soil to produce rice, wheat, pulse crops, sugarcane and other cereals. Very important in having potash, phosphoric acid and lime.